I work inside of a pizzeria in a 24-hour gas station. It's actually very small, so we share a freezer, refrigerator, and back room with the gas station cashiers. The pizza place is a new addition, approximately 3 months to the gas station, and so far, my boss has only hired 3 college-age girls, including myself, to work here. So I will begin this story from the time I was hired and work my way up to the present day. The first few days of my employment at the gas station, it was very nice. The gas station cashier, who I usually worked with, would frequently offer me free food and drinks from the soda fountain, which I often took home. He was an older guy, probably in his early to mid-40s, with a very thick accent and a loose grasp on English. He was also very tall compared to us girls, probably 1.5 feet difference, 6'5". Another cashier told me that he was Persian. That was pretty neat, I thought, until things started getting weird. One Saturday night, while him and I were alone there, a common occurrence due to the small size of the station, he asked me to come to his house party. I politely declined. He was clearly upset, but didn't say much else until the next day. "I want to get to know you," he would say throughout the day. He wrote down his phone number and awkwardly stuffed it into my backpack as I was leaving that night. I smiled politely and told him, "Sorry, I'm very busy." I didn't stick around to talk. Things escalated from there. Every few days, he would ask me to go out for coffee or that he would buy me dinner, and every time I would decline, saying I was busy. He was getting more and more frustrated every time I would say no, but honestly, he scared me. I wasn't going to outright tell him that, no, I'm not interested and won't ever be, for some small fear in the back of my mind that he would hurt me. This went on for about a month until the offers almost stopped completely. By this point, I was avoiding absolutely all contact with him, and I'm sure he picked up on it. When he and I were in the same room, I was completely tense and refused to say anything. I even started consistently locking the door to the pizzeria for fear that he would come in. He tried to wander in once or twice, but of course, couldn't. That made him angry. I still wouldn't let him in and handed him whatever he needed over the counter. I drive a motorcycle, so there's no getting in and locking the doors when I leave at 12 a.m., and he knew that. One night, about 2 months in, as I was leaving for the night, he had already left, but I was still tense. I felt a little crazy at first for doing this, but ever since I started reading Let's Not Meet about 2 years ago, I always carry a knife on me, no exceptions. So that night, like most nights, I had my knife open in my pocket with my hand on it. I looked around the rather empty camera-less parking lot and saw his car parked a few spaces away. I wasn't sure it was even his, so I wasn't worried and kind of laughed at myself for being so worked up. I started my bike to give it time to warm up. At that moment, the door to his car opens, and I am 100% in fear mode. I frantically and awkwardly shove on my helmet. "Hey," he calls. "Hey." I don't answer. I just start rolling my motorcycle out of the parking space. He strolls out from the shadows and stands a foot or so in front of me. "Give me a kiss," he says in a really unsettling tone. He also puts his hand on my hammer bar, big no, and I reach for my pocket. He takes a slightly startled step back, probably thinking that I have pepper spray or something. In that second that he steps back, my fight or flight kicks in, and I tear out of that parking lot. "Where are you going?" he shouted, really angry. I didn't say anything. I rationalized that he didn't actually touch me, so who would care? My bosses were all foreign as well. Wouldn't they stick up for him? After that, he stopped talking to me completely. There were no more awkward advances, and I finally felt like I could relax, until of course, when my coworker was alone with him a few days ago. He had always called her the fat girl and the ugly one, but I didn't say anything about that either. When she went into the refrigerator to get some milk from the shelf, he was in there. While her back was turned, he grabbed her from behind, forcibly groped her, and kissed her. And she was too scared to fight back. I don't know much else about the event. She doesn't want to talk about it either, but I know that if I had said something, that probably wouldn't have happened to her. He was immediately fired and is on his way back to Iran in the next week. And I don't know what to do about it or how to help her, but I'd like your advice. And if all you want to say is that I'm an idiot, well, I deserve it. Sorry for the long post and creepy gas station cashier. Let's not meet. I am not afraid anymore. Just to give you some background information, I'm a 29-year-old female, and this happened to me 4 years ago. My family lived on a farm in rural outback Western Australia, just north of Geraldton, in a modest-looking wooden farmhouse. My son and I lived here alone most of the time, while my husband worked on rotation up north on the mines. We had no neighbors, no mobile phone reception, and very little connection with the outside world, with the exception of the television. There was only one window in the house, situated above my bed in the bedroom. It was a small, old, wooden-framed window with no curtains. However, the window was completely jammed, and as much as I had tried to close it, there was about 2 inches of opening near the bottom of the window frame. My husband and I spent a while trying to oil the hinges and loosen it up the day before he left to go to work again, but we gave up, as it wasn't a huge issue at the time. Fast forward to a couple of nights later. I'm standing in front of the television, doing the ironing and watching Sex and the City reruns, while my son is asleep in my bed. As I walk up the hallway to enter the laundry to grab another load of washing, I passed my bedroom and pop my head in to check on my son. My heart stops. The window frame above my bed is shuffling from side to side. My eyes scan down, and what I see next will never leave my mind again. There were 2 hands, squeezing through the gap of my window, trying to lift up the jammed frame. I screamed the house down, grabbed my son, the phone, and locked myself in the bathroom and called the police. I'd hate to think what would have happened if I hadn't been walking past the bedroom at that exact moment. Power outages in my 2-story apartment were very common due to the fact that my apartment is shitty, so I was not shocked when it went off one night while on my phone. Before the power outage, I was hearing strange shuffling and light footsteps upstairs, so I was a tiny bit unsettled. My brother, Alex, was out on the porch, so he wasn't really aware of the power outage. Anyway, what happened was the power just went off. When I got up to go tell Alex, something came from upstairs, speeding down, almost sprinting down, while trying to stay careful. I was scared. I dropped my phone. The only light supplied was the street light near my apartment that shined in from the window. I stood still the whole time to make sure whatever the thing was didn't see me. I heard footsteps around me, but I saw nothing. My brother then walked in and asked, "What happened?" in a loud tone. Whatever was there sprinted towards the door, pushing Alex to the ground and leaving the door wide open. Puzzled, my brother got up and tried to chase after it, but it was long gone by that time. He realized what just happened. Me and Alex moved out and now live in separate houses, but it still freaks me out sometimes when the power shuts off. Now, I don't ask any of you to believe me. I have no proof because me and my brother decided, instead of calling the police, we called the landlord. Well, strange creature that knocked my brother down and probably didn't have good intentions. Let's not meet, ever.